but when you put it together, Zobek betrays you, and he uses this thing called the Devil Mask, which he used to control Gabriel to make him do evil stuff. He makes Gabriel murder his own wife, Marie, and then he makes him kill Claudia, the little girl, and then right after he explains all that, it's revealed the true boss of the game actually shows himself. But it's not Dracula. Are you ready for this? It is Satan. That's right, Lucifer, the devil himself, is the main antagonist of the game. Wrap your head around that. Golly. You want to talk about ridiculous and over the top. Like, I know they talk about Satan and God in this game, but I mean, come on, even then you wouldn't have been able to guess. Because everybody talks about Satan and God. It's not like they would have literally showed up in the game. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a pretty tough boss fight with Satan. And Satan is actually voiced by Jason Isaacs, which he gives an amazing performance, and he really is. He's completely so evil and so scary sounding. God damn, his voice is amazing. Yeah, but anyways, after you defeat Satan, I don't want to say you kill him because you can't really kill Satan, but afterwards, the spell is finally lifted. Gabriel's wife and all the other dead people ascend to heaven. There's this huge emotional scene Gabriel has between him and his wife. He actually puts the God mask on to see if he can resurrect Marie, but it's actually a mask that's intended to actually make you see through God's eyes. Now, of course, Gabriel ends up sobbing, and he's like, "No, I want to go with you, I want to go with you." Then Marie says, "It's not your time. You've been given a really long life so that you can redeem yourself." Then she floats off, then Gabriel just ends up breaking down. He really just breaks down and starts crying. And like, it's really emotional, and really, you do feel sorry for him at the end. And then there's this scene at the end of the credits. Possibly one of the coolest and confusing cliffhangers in all video game history. It starts out with this church. You see the inside of this church. Then you see this cloaked figure walk inside the church. Then you follow him through all these hallways and corridors. Then you see him at like this huge opening where like there's this beam of sunlight coming down. You see him float up and levitate to like the top of this big tower. Then he enters this big dark room with this enormous stained glass window. And then he turns around and he just goes, "So this is where you've been hiding all these years." Then we find out that it's Zobek, who is somehow still alive, even though Satan apparently kills him in the game. And then, and over at the very left, we see like this throne, where we see these pale white hands, and in the darkness we see these two glowing red eyes. And you hear this voice, "What do you want, Zobek?" And then Zobek says, "I've been looking for you for a long time, Gabriel." And then the guy freaks out and he just goes, "Do not call me that! It is now Dracula!" And it's like, finally we get to see Dracula in this game. Then they have a little bit of conversation, and then Dracula starts fighting Zobek. Then he teleports behind him. He tries to bite him and suck his blood. Then Zobek teleports behind him and he knocks him out the stained glass window. And then after that Dracula like falls to the ground, but when he gets knocked out of the stained glass window, it's like this huge slow motion shot where like we see him falling through the streets of modern day New York City. It's not like some village out where in Europe in the Middle Ages. No, it's modern fucking day New York City. And Dracula just falls to the ground, and then this van like just stops right in front of him and honks. Then Zobek falls down with him in like this modern day business suit, and he just says to Dracula, "Satan's acolytes are preparing for his return. If you help me fight him, I will release you of your curse." And Dracula just says, "Yeah, I'll think about it." Then he just disappears, and that's it. That was an awesome scene, but it raised a whole bunch of questions for me. First of all, how is Zobek still alive? What happened in the time span between the ending of the game and this scene? 3, when and how does Gabriel become Dracula? 4, oh yeah, about death. If Zobek is supposed to be death, then what was that giant worm boss that we fought? Who was that? That was supposed to be death, but then Zobek is actually supposed to be death. Like, they never really clarified that. I don't know. It's a Hideo Kojima game. You know, it's Kojima. It's gonna be weird. There are gonna be a lot of there are more plot twists and shit in this game than a fucking bag of Twizzlers. I don't know. I kind of want this to be like a discussion, because I'm a longtime Castlevania fan. I love this game. I love the direction they're taking with the series. I really look forward to seeing more of these games from Mercury Steam. So, once again, leave a comment, talk about the game. Talk about your ideas for where the series could go from here. I really want to hear some ideas, because like, if we actually get a decent conversation going, then I'll probably enter my own comments and ideas and thoughts into the section. But anyways, thank you for watching, everybody. This is my Castlevania review. I'm getting close to collecting all the books I need for the Nightfall retrospective, the Batman Nightfall retrospective, so that will be coming soon. Thank you, and good night.